Uh-oh.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How is it? All you brave souls. We got wind blowing in here. It is a beautiful spring day. Actually, this is spring, and I'm happy about the rain, but that's me. And I would like to welcome everybody to today's service. My name is Rev Kim Haley. And I welcome everyone on Zoom today, too. I can't see you, but I saw you earlier. I think I know who's there. Maybe some new people popped up that I haven't seen, but welcome. And I want to welcome any newcomers. I see somebody's making their way to the front door there. So, but this year is the year of themes. It's 2024. The themes are marked are self-propelling, self-existent, and volition. And I have looked at the self-existent one because it reminds me of the all that is. And I ask that our musician for today open the service with a song, and then we'll move right into meditation. So Barney is going to be our musician for today, and we'd like to do something for the meditation. Is everybody good with that? And then we'll come back. Okay?
Now this is a beautiful song by Jan Fogelberg. I've done it before. I've done it with Cheyenne. I love singing it with her. And you guys like it when she sings. I know that. But, so maybe I'll just lead you into this with a couple verses. And you can drift away or drift inward and be really present with yourselves. Now the wind is still, in a moment it will be raging. Now my soul is young, in a moment it will be aging. High above the pines, I made several lines and left them in a bar for you to find. For you to find. Now the dream is rising, in a moment it will be past. This breath is my thirst, it will want to soon be my
Let the beauty of this moment, of this time that we are together here as a community, be present in us. Let us feel the connections that we have with this world, with each other, with nature, with the rain. It's a beautiful day. And I'm so happy you're all here. And I want you all to know that you are loved. Because that's the truth.
And so is
I feel like Edith Ann. And that's the truth.
You're as cute as her.
So we had Barney, thank you for doing that music for the meditation. And what have we got going on now? We have a good friend of mine named Jean LaLonde, who's going to come up and do our spiritual thought for today. Let's give John some
Thank you, Reverend Kim. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
morning.
You got here. That's wonderful. Thanks for coming. So I want to talk about the theme of self-propelling. I wanted to, I like that theme, and I believe that for the most part, more or less here and there, I am self-propelling. So I wanted to explore that a little bit in reading about it and then talking about it. So self-propelling is generally defined as the power within oneself. Ernest Holmes adds to that definition that spirit is self-propelling. Our creative power starts with our thought. So I just want to lay some of the definitions or thoughts behind what I'm going to say. So our creative power starts with our thought. Every thought sets in motion the power of the divine to act through us. And that the clarity and power behind our thought determines the strength of the demonstration of that thought. So the clearer and stronger and more connected we are to that thought brings about what we are desiring more effectively. So as we know from religious science and new thought creates or produces a new condition. So what are the thoughts underneath being self-propelled? So I wanted to be as specific and concrete as I could. Some of these themes this month, I had trouble like sinking my teeth into it. And I know that's a carnivore metaphor, but it's happens with vegetables too. But I just really wanted to kind of get it and try to communicate it. So like I said, I think I am self-propelling most of the time, more or less here and there. So I wasn't really familiar with the term self-propelling. The way I knew it and thought about it was whether you are internally motivated or externally motivated. Psychology talks about a locus of control. Is it inside yourself or is it something outside yourself? And I think we know that when it comes from within, it's more likely to happen and probably going to be stronger than if it's somebody telling us we ought to do this. As I thought about this and thought about what is it that I particularly like, I recalled the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I really liked that book, and I quickly reread it and really focused on the fourth agreement was what I thought really fit with what I try to do, and I think in that book really kind of spoke to me. So this book talks about the underlying values that we hold, and he calls them our agreements. And those are the things that we've learned as kids, learned through our lives, that we have sort of adopted as the underpinnings of how we conduct our lives. That I read the fourth agreement, and I've always liked it. And It's an agreement that that talks about our internal motivation and the decision we can make ourselves to support ourselves being self-propelling. So it's a powerful little agreement or value that if we really hold it inside, it's going to drive us to be self-propelling. So that agreement says, always do your best. And every moment, all the time, just do your best. That's not the same as saying be perfect, but bring your best self to everything that you do. That if you adopt that as your underpinning, as your value, and live by that, and just recall it in difficult times, that's going to help drive you to be self-propelling and to work through whatever you need to. It's day to day. We're not gonna feel good all the time. Our best one day is not going to be the same as our best another day. It's going to ebb and flow with conditions. But if we keep in our mind, just do your best, regardless of your condition, then we're going to be satisfied with the results. If it's we'll know that we're being true to ourselves if we can recall to do our best, and we'll be self-motivated from an internal state, and which will be self-propelling. So the author makes the point that if we do our best and hold that in, regardless of the outcome, even if it's not what we, the biggest, greatest sort of outcome that we wanted, if we've done our best, we can tell ourselves that. We can be satisfied with that, and that as we do that, our outcomes become better and better. So he explains further that trying to be perfect just doesn't work. The likelihood of being perfect is very, very slim to begin with, and it is likely to fail. And so even if we fail, but we've not tried our best, then we're not going to feel good about our effort. So trying our best is really a good value. So and just trying your best, even in difficult circumstances, makes it kind of habit forming, which increases the likelihood you're going to just bring that to any kind of issue. So this, as I thought about this has kind of a psychological sort of tone to it, but I wanted to move on to that there's a strong spiritual sense to this as well, and we've heard some about that this month. We heard that we are all individualized, unique expressions of God. So the spiritual sense behind being self-propelling has a lot to do with who we are, our nature as unique expressions of divine spirit. And I thought I would take this opportunity that if you had any doubt about that unique expression of God, to just check the card. It's right on there. And therefore, Iris, Mike. So if we are acting with divine spirit, if we're knowing that it is God, divine spirit acting through us, that we will be self-propelling. There's just no option but to be that. If we truly accept and know deeply that God or spirit is in all things, all events, all people, then we have no choice to be that we are self-propelling. If we know our nature as divine beings, as the housing, as the expression of divine beings, we are that. The other thing that we heard this month is that supports being self-propelling is that we live in the now. We have this moment right now. And the past has passed, the future's not here. The past does not have to dictate to us how we're going to be in this moment. So if we're living in the now, we are being self-propelled. So Eckhart Tolle, the author of Power of Now, says, recognizing and feeling spirit within and on high in the present moment is enlightenment. So it is just the highest of goals to seek to live in the moment, to know our divine nature. That gets us to be self-propelled. So to conclude this, we all got here today. Even our friends on Zoom got up, got some coffee, looked in the mirror at their hair, and then shuffled off to their computers. And they got here too. They're taking part in this. We all knew that it would be good for us to come, that there would be some spiritual nurturing here, that there would be some social time with like-minded people, all of it in the now moment. So I conclude that we are all self-propelling. And so it is.
Thank you, John.
Yes.
It sort of makes me think about that when other people are empowered, everyone is empowered. It's a reflection for all of us. And so I just always think that it's nice to encourage others, which is what I hear you say, and then they encourage us in return. It's kind of a nice reciprocal thing. Anyway, that was wonderful. I think we're going to have some music now, aren't we? Music
For sure.
by Barney, and he's joined. This thing drives me crazy. Not any crazier than I have to go. Anyway, I wrote your name down. Just a second. I'm not good at remembering.
I'll tell you.
You,
This is Ryan Eppler.
Ryan.
And Ryan, I met Ryan. He was coming to open mics, and it's been many years now. And so the songs I've chosen today are, one of them, in 1979, I was mining lapis lazuli in Mount Baldy. That was right after I was at ABC Studios and blew my chance to be a big star right after Robin Williams. But those are all past moments. And just so much today for me. I was out collecting bees. I put 50 bees out in the Polonia grove down in Chowchilla. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get bees, but I kept putting it in mind we needed to get bees. And I got a call. Hey, I've got 20 hives that I can put down there. I'll split the honey with you. And so we put those out Friday night. And I'm just really grateful in my work of sequestering carbon and making clean energy and everything. And then, John, your talk today, one thing is such a lesson for a young guitar player like me, is that if you hit a bad note, as my old golf coach used to say when you hit a bad shot, that's past history, baby. He goes, it's this note that we're playing. So all the other notes don't matter, it's this note. So with that, we're going to play a song that two friends of mine wrote. You'll recognize it as Southern Cross, but when they wrote it, it was Seven Leagues Boots. And Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young did it. But my friend Rick Curtis and Mike Curtis wrote it. And I got to play on this guitar, which is a guitar that I got in the 70s. So I thought I'd wear my 70s-esque pants, which are really my Maggie bell bottoms. So after that long diatribe, let's see if we can play this. Right? Are you ready? We got 8 feet of water line, nice know we. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, turn up. You'll understand now I came this way. For the truth you may be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of another day. So I'm singing for my dreams and my and my Lord was an anchor, I knew in a silver train. I had my ship, and all her flags are flying. She's all that I have left, the music is her name. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, my voice is calling. What can you do me? And I'll be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for my woman who knows love can endure. And you know what we know we. Come on, Brian, get some. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you'll understand now I came this way. For the truth you may be running from is so small, but it's as big as the coming, the promise of another day. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, my voice is calling. What he gave you and me, and I'll be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for my woman girl. You know love can endure. And you know it will. And you know it will. Ryan Eppler.
Oh, I didn't turn it off. Great. See how music can get rid of stuff? Get rid of your anger, can get rid of a lot of things and bring it together. Thank you, Barney, and thank you, Ryan. Now, our main speaker today someone special has a special message for you. We know him as Joe Bull, Rev Joe Bull.
See you. Oh, good morning. John, you spoke with such authority. I bought into everything you said. It's like, wow, I'm listening to God this morning. It's fabulous, just fabulous. Such authority. I want to say real quick about Nancy Moore. She wrote a spiritual thought a few weeks ago, and just wanted to thank her for that. She talked about self-propelling, that John spoke of. To do some gardening, it motivates her to go do this. That comes, like John says, from within, to go out and want to do these things. She said the surrounding beauty keeps her propelling, moving like a self-propelling river. She goes, I keep on going thanks to the giver. And that's beautiful. So thank you, Nancy, for that. Very nice. I'm going to speak mostly about volition this morning, about will, free will. I will talk a little bit about self-propelling and self-existence. It all kind of blends together for me. When I think about these topics, I'm going to be referring to a book. Today is called Practical Spirituality by John Randolph Price. LaLonde and I have been reading this each morning. Sometimes we get to maybe, 2 paragraphs and we start talking. And that's as far as we get with it each time we speak about it. It has such great stuff in it. And I love what it says on the front. Your power is only a theory until it's demonstrated. I think that's just fabulous. I really believe that. And volition is an act of will, choosing, deciding, and making a choice, and the freedom to do so. And self-existence is existing independently of other beings. There's no other you or me. We're very much individuals, and that is the way it's supposed to be. No one across this planet is like you or me. Self-propelling, moving by your own physical power, as John talked about. Not needing something else to move us, but move us from within toward a desire or our goal that we have in mind. Question, how do we function in life with God's Spirit? How do we do this? I believe we need to combine this human life with God's Spirit in order to have a great existence while we are here on this planet. I'm going to be referring to chapter 6 today of this book under mind and heart working together as a unit. We live in the 4th dimension, that being spiritual consciousness. And we express ourselves in the 3rd dimension, that being our physical world. As a co-creator with God's Spirit, we do this by aligning ourselves with the powers of will and love together, expressing them together as courage, purpose, resolution, and determination to be active as a spiritual being. It helps us to establish that bridge between heart and mind. It helps us to establish that unconditional love that comes from the heart and the will that comes from the mind, working together. I want to read something to you real quick. Again, this is under uniting mind and heart. You are here to awaken to your own divinity. We all are. We are here to help others awaken to their divinity at the same time. We are here to participate in the salvation of the world. You cannot awaken to your own divinity until you have a sense of responsibility to others and to the world. You cannot feel responsibility to others and to the world until you begin to take control of this thing called the lower self. We have this thing called lower self and higher self within us.
You cannot correct this lower self until you activate the power of will and begin to use this force to discipline the personality. Through your will, you develop a sense of firmness, stability, dedication, and purpose in your life. A one-pointed focus on realization that the truth of your being and the healing of humankind is a global scale. The focus of all will alone may be expressed as the cold determination to move through an obstacle at any cost. When blended with the love energy, the power of will broadens in perspective and accepts its responsibility as a divine idea of goodwill. When love is centered exclusively in the feeling nature and not balanced in mind, the individual may become oversensitive to the illusions of this world. They need to be both working in unison together for us to have that balance so we don't have that uncertainty about the world. This conditional love is based on attachments other than unconditional love, which is completely detached from illusion. When combined with the force of will, the unconditional love energy becomes the great harmonizer in our lives and affairs, the supplier of the aims of will, and the provider for every need. Through unconditional love, no strings attached, you transmit the negative energy of the lower self, and you begin to feel a sense of responsibility to others and to the planet. Once you begin to look beyond the lower self, you begin to awaken to your own divinity. Now let's talk about the lower self versus the higher self. This is all in our brain, folks. I know I'm kind of stepping into Bob Hand's area, but it was very interesting what I read about it. Our lower self is the animal-like creature which is deeply rooted in our brain system. Its main goal is to survive and feel good. That's its main goal in us. Our lower self is much like our earlier man, the Neanderthal. Its main goal is to survive, find shelter, safety, and food. I have a friend of mine, every time I think of the word Neanderthal, he reminds me of a Neanderthal. He kind of looks that way. He's a great guy. He's a fabulous, intelligent man, but he has that Neanderthal look, and he's got more teeth than we're supposed to have. And I've told him all this, and he just smiles even bigger. He's quite a creature in himself. I love this guy. And believe me, he picks on me too. Our lower self is the one inside of us that hits the snooze button 6 times in the morning. It just wants to sit and drink coffee all morning, watch TV, play games on its phone or computer all day long. Just does the minimum of life. And when I first wrote that, I thought about that. I said, I've kind of done that sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Then we have this other thing going on in our brain, this reptilian portion of our brain. Another pattern. The reptilian in us, these behaviors aren't pretty, folks, causes us to get angry fast. It's territorial and aggressive. It would do anything for sex. It causes us to overeat and overdrink. It skips going to work and causes us to spend our entire salary in just a few days. Meaning it's obsessive and compulsive. Now don't get me wrong, these behaviors in us, the reptilian and lower self, has its good purposes as well, if it's combined together. For example, it's good for getting us out of the way of a speeding vehicle. It protects us from being physically harmed or attacked, and it does the little things like keep us breathing all night long when we're asleep. So it has an automated thing in us that protects us at the same time, or helps us. Now, this thing called the higher self in us lives in the neocortex part of our brain, mostly the frontal area, responsible for most of our imagination and creativity. Now remember, all this is going on at the same time in our heads. When we consume quality foods like vegetables, fruits, salads, and a blended diet of protein, when we read books, view art and paintings, listen to classical music, stuff like that, we develop the higher self of our brain. We are turning on our higher self. We're educating ourselves. So we are melding together our lower self and higher self functions, giving us a well-balanced person, hopefully. It's like the good and bad working in conjunction all the time. Hopefully it is. And this is where volition comes in to play. In the awakening process, your life's mission and purpose will be revealed with greater clarity. Once you have your piece of the puzzle, you will be drawn to the place, people, and opportunities where the divine plan for your life can be implemented to its fullness. And a closer look at the will faculty. Will is the direct power of consciousness and is closely linked with choice, decision, and decree. When the will is focused on spiritual ideals, you are moving toward the Christ connection. And we feel that, don't we? And as you are willing to be about the Father's business, language here, fathers, I know it's old, you are reconnecting the purpose of the lower nature with the will of the higher self. And this true I am can then express the fullness of its potentiality and through our consciousness. Please say with me, I am determined to be all that I am created to be. Thank you. I choose to express the fullness of my Christhood. Yes. I decree a full awakening to the Christ within. I will achieve my destiny. And I will fulfill my mission. Beautiful. I hope you sense the power of those words. The determination, the feeling of commitment. This is the consciousness of the spiritual warrior where nothing is impossible. Nothing. No thing. The will factor or faculty, which is located in the energy field near the front center of the brain, as I spoke before, is now glowing with radiant light, and like steam in a boiler, its force will propel you toward your destination, literally rolling over every seeming obstacle. But without the balancing effect of love, will can be a power out of control. And with the end justifying the means becoming the primary motivation. Think of it this way. In the mind of God, will means the cosmic urge to express. And that expression is always with and in love, meaning the highest good for all. Your will is your urge to express the fullness of your potentiality. But the radiating force must be controlled by unconditional love. Mind and emotions, head and heart must be united for the goodwill. When we pray and meditate during our day, and hopefully we're all doing this, just taking a few moments out each and every day, our balance in life improves. It gets us back to our center. I promise you this. It keeps our mind focused on the positive things in life, keeps us front and center today, forward, as John has mentioned, we have today, forward. That's all that matters. And we focus on positive things in life, helps us to use our free will in our best way. Close your eyes with me, please. Dear God Spirit, thank you for this opportunity to speak today. These words about love and will, unconditional love and will, working together to make a perfect divine being. We are all together, yet we are all individuals, living this day forward in the best way we know how, in the very best way we know how. I thank you, God Spirit, for this and so much more. And so it is. Thank you.
Oops, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to ask for two people who would like to step up. And we're going to do the offertory. So I need two people to help me. I would clone myself, but I don't think I can. Thank you. Is there another person that would like to stand up? Thanks, Joe. Thank you. Okay. So while this is happening, we're going to say divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Thank you for your contributions today. Those of you watching our service on Zoom, you may tithe by going into the iFocus and email that you received and pushing the green button. It has easy instructions on how to donate funds to the PLC, and we sure appreciate that. It helps us to keep today the heat, and the lights, and a nice space for us to be present with each other. Thank you very much. I don't know your name. Laura. Thank you so much. Great. All righty. So now we have announcements. Does anyone like to make any announcements today? Anyone on Zoom?
I have an announcement.
Barney's going to make an announcement.
Real quickie, it's funny because you're talking about the reptilian brain and volition, but there is an incredible connection between our nose and our survival, which is it was kind of the nosinator. When we needed to know if something was safe to eat or not, we would smell it. And you guys all know that true, or maybe sometimes when you go to a outhouse, it's like it turns off this,
Sorry.
well, it literally turns off. There's this connection between our nose and our amygdala. And the amygdala, if you smell something sweet, it actually opens it up and actually changes your whole vibrational frequency. And when you smell something bad, it closes it. Yeah, so I brought these Polonia flowers, so they're up front. So if you take one, and throughout the day, if you just kind of smell it, you may open up your amygdala and be in a better mood. That's all. So they're up front.
I like nice smelling things.
Yeah. That's why we have incense and stuff like that. Actually, is a very spiritual practice.
Kim, I have an announcement.
Oh, somebody has an announcement on Zoom.
On Zoom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi. I just like to remind everybody there's a drum circle and a flute circle on the second Saturday of every month. The flute circle starts at 2 o'clock and you don't have to have a flute. And John LaLonde and Kim Haley are the leaders for this. And at 4 o'clock, the drum circle starts. And you don't have to have a drum, just come and enjoy the frequency and the value of being in community and understanding that ceremony is a part of our learning process. So that's second Saturday every month. Thank you.
Yeah, and you all heard that? Okay, great. Thanks, Judy.
You're welcome.
Okay. Also, I have just to say, save the date. That's all I can say today, the 28th of July of this year. To save the date. More to follow next week. Leave it as a mystery. Come back next week, I'll tell you. Anyway, I think, is that enough? Is that all the announcements? Is there any more announcements? All right.
Yes.
Oh, yes. John.
Yes, I have an announcement. It's just simply to express my heartfelt thanks for all of you who have offered continued love and support in this time of challenge.
Beautiful. John
Thank you,
Stanley.
John. Thanks, John. And
John Stanley.
we send our love from our hearts to you.
Yes.
All right. Anyone else have another announcement? Okay. So our prayer partner this week is John LaLonde. You can meet John in the back, or if you wish, you can leave, I think the frog box still there?
Yep.
You can still sign into the frog box if you can't stay after this service and put your request, your prayer request on that. And if you want to talk to somebody in person, I think all the numbers are on the iFocus and you can contact someone there. Or here, say if you can't wait, but you're here and John has somebody he's with, you can come to any one of the ministers that are here. And we don't mind doing that, we like it. That is part of our purpose here. Anyway, next week's speaker is Reverend Judy DeRosa, who's on Zoom right now, and she will be our speaker next week, so we hope you will come back. Let's do the prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me.
The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
Yes. And now we're going to have a closing song. And then we'll ask Reverend Sandy to play at the end.
Beautiful.
Okay?
Oh, come on up, Ryan. Oh, I'd like to announce that Ryan has a guest that his talent and beauty, this young man drew another person into our midst to love a little more, and that's his beautiful wife. I mean, his mother. Margaret was, well, I thought you were dead. Remember that when mom and sister, daughter were together? I think I don't talk too good today. I just don't got that word power. No, actually I do have the power. Yeah, well, that's what they paid me to do. In cash, because they don't trust me with a check. Ryan, when you hit your finger, I want you to try this. Yeah, you couldn't. That was just a little low. Anyways, so I have this vision. I know, Joe, sometimes, just laying around in bed is actually the most positive thing you can do. I know I like to do a lot. But, or taking it easy and allowing spirit to inhabit ourselves also. And this is the beauty of balance. Action and reflection, thought precedes matter. But, so this is a song about taking it easy, and I guess I'm in my Maggie bell bottoms, and so this I'm playing my 70s guitar. So this is a song called Take It Easy, and I have a vision that I think most of you at least know 2 or 3 of the words. Would you please, everyone who can at least sing the part Take It Easy, raise your hand and tell me that you're going to sing. What? Come on, man. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna sing.
Okay. Good.
I was gonna sneak up on it, but.
I'm looking for commitment here. Well, I'm going down the road trying to loosen my load. Got Santa waiting on my mind. Boy, I wanna hold me too. Don't wanna stone me, wanna say she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive me crazy. Right now, you see I can. Don't even try to understand. Just try to twist and make your stand. Take it easy. Give us one, Ryan. I'm standing on a corner and when it's slow as it was, such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my Lord, it's that bed for so we're gonna take a look at it. John, come on, sing now. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. We may lose and we may win, but we will never be here again. So open up our mind, take it easy. Okay, Mr. Eppler. Okay, everybody, help me out now. Running down the road, trying to loosen my load. Got the world in trouble on my mind. I'm looking for a lover who won't blow my cover. It's just a little hard to find. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know this sweet love is gonna save me. Help that now. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, we gotta didn't know I was going to play this right now, but what the hell. Here's a dance we do in silence, while below this morning sun. You and your life, me and mine, we have begun. And here we stand without speaking, dropping water from the well. Sail across the plain to where the mountains lie so still. And it's a long way that I have come across the sand to find you here among your people in the sun, where your children will be born. You'll watch them as they run. Oh, it's so far the other way, my life is gone. Across my land has grown the shadow of a cruel and senseless hand. Though some strong hearts, the love and truth remains. It has taken me this distance, and the world's left to learn that my life remains among them, and it's there I must return. It's a long way that I have come across the sand to find you here among your people in the sun, where your people work together as they have always done. Oh, it's so far the other way, my country's gone. And if you come to me, Maria, you will find me in the shade, sleeping, wide awake for in a dream. It's hard to tell. Oh, if you come to me, Maria, I'll show you what I think. It's a picture for a lady of the well. Barney Eppler, guitar.
We got a bonus song.
Kind of wish, I never know what I'm going to do.
Well,
But I
you
usually-
expect it, isn't it?
Eventually pop out of bed.
All right, Sandy, we're gonna have you do our closing prayer.
Oh, thank you everyone for such a lovely service today. It was really thought-provoking and just everyone was brilliant. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So please just close your eyes for a moment and just take in all the essence that's around you. Your spiritual family coming together, all of us, everyone together, knowing the truth about our beingness, knowing the truth about our hearts and our love, and making the world a better place. We come together to do this. We come together to lead the way to eternal love, divine love, loving everyone and everything on our way. As you go home today, bless everything around you. Spread the love, spread the blessings, spread the joy, and know that we are all we can be and more. And I give such glorious thanks for this, and amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, everyone. Everybody take it easy. We'll see you next